On his own podcast, Impaulsive, get it? It's like impulsive, but with Paul in the middle instead of pulse. On his own podcast, Impaulsive, Logan Paul talks about his WrestleMania experience and talks about just how fake or real wrestling is. Check out this clip.
Awesome. It is electric. When there's someone you love in that ring and doing those moves, like, by the way, I didn't practice like any of those moves.
I watch you train, but I didn't see you actually like pull the moves off.
No,
in
because
training.
it's because you're doing it on that surface is hard. It is not bouncy. It is not a trampoline. There is no give. It is plywood. It's wood. And so everyone, wrestling's fake. Shut the fuck up. That shit hurts. I am sore. The left side of my body kills me right now. Like, those are real slams and they hurt. And when I was practicing, you can't just in practice even do those moves because you're gonna compromise your body ahead of the match. Yep. So you can do it on a crash pad as many times as you want. But like when I hit those it's called the Three Amigos, 3 suplexes in a row. I had never practiced a suplex like that. I threw both my legs up. I'm fucking airborne.
Sick.
On the second one, bro, my head snapped back. For sure, I just got a concussion. I'm looking up at the lights of the Dallas Stadium. I'm like, oh, no, whatever, dude. It's WrestleMania. Turn over. And yeah, dude, the adrenaline's crazy. The crowd's going nuts. Something about the energy for a wrestling event and a boxing match is so different.
So different.
Wrestling's more fun, eh?
Remember I said it to you in the locker room before?
Yeah, that fucking mat hurts. There's not a lot of give to it, especially when you're not used to being a professional wrestler. They talk about the callus that you build up as a professional wrestler to where you start hitting that mat and it doesn't affect you in the same way. But if you're out with an injury and you're off for a few months and then you come back, those first few bumps suck. So for a guy like Logan Paul, who does not do this for a living, does not do this regularly, has never done this as far as we know. He even said in the interview or in his podcast that he didn't practice these moves. He might have did a few things on a crash pad or whatever, but a lot of it is just go out there and do it on the spot. And he's hitting that ring for the first time as a newbie to professional wrestling, as not a professional, though you wouldn't know it the way that he was presenting himself out there. He was a fucking star, right? Logan Paul killed it at WrestleMania. When he says, I don't want to brag, I'm trying to be humble, but I'm good at this. He is good at this. He's very good. He's got it all down. From the character presentation, the look at the ring gear that he had put together for this show. He looked like a fucking star with his goofy ass Pokemon card around his neck. He looked so obnoxious. His headband, he fit right in with the Miz. Both of them are just the most obnoxious heels you can think of, right? So it was a perfect pairing to take on the Mysterios. Of course, Ray, one of the most beloved wrestlers of all time. Logan did great. He did absolutely great. I know he's got a lot of haters out there. I know there's a lot of people that don't want to see him in wrestling or don't think that he belongs in wrestling. I know there's a lot of people that don't like when celebrities get involved with professional wrestling at all. They feel like it makes a mockery of it or that they just have no place. And to an extent, I can agree with that. When I look at a Bad Bunny nailed all the moves. He did great. Also, in the ring, you could tell he really practiced and he tried, but he doesn't look the part necessarily, and thus I don't really believe him as somebody that could kick somebody's ass. But with Logan Paul, we've seen him. He goes out there and has professional boxing fights with real professional. This motherfucker went the distance with Floyd Mayweather. And of course, I do believe that whole thing was a work. I think that Floyd probably could have took him out a few points in that fight if he wanted to. He just wanted to go the full 10 rounds and put on a good little exhibition show. I get that. But Logan Paul still was in there and hung for 10 rounds, and he was able to dish some punishment out too. Floyd gave him props. He's a good fighter. Nice little exhibition for him. So we know that, and Logan's had other fights as well. So we know that Logan has the chops to hang. He's got the body for it, right? He's built. He's tough. Just from MMA circles and stuff, it's been said that both the Paul brothers grew up as farm boys, just like Brock, hard working, lots of lifting and throwing and hauling and digging and all of that shit. Builds up a fucking rock hard, chiseled, strong body. You could see that when you look at Logan. So he looks the part. He's got the history and the body of work with his boxing and such to show that he at least has a legitimate history in combat sports. So for him to go out at WrestleMania, to look the part, to show, to do as well as he did, to have the full character down too. He didn't just go out and was able to do the moves because he's athletic and look the part because he's built and he's got the muscular body structure and he's got the gear, the obnoxious gear with the headbands and the bright bumblebee jacket and all that. But the facials, the expressions, the heel work, doing the Three Amigos, knowing that it's going to get the crowd to boo him, and just all of that shit, man, he did so good. And from listening to this interview, I get the feeling that Logan has the itch to continue wrestling. I think he wants to be a wrestler. And we'll get to it in another clip, but he even, has a conversation with Becky later on the show, Becky Lynch, about not wanting to be a heel. He wants to be a babyface. So I think Logan Paul has strong intentions of continuing to do this. I think we haven't seen the last of Logan in the ring, and I don't think we should. I think he did great. I don't think he made an ass of himself. He didn't look green. He looks like he fits right in. He belongs there. He's got the credentials to back it up. He belongs in a WWE ring just as much as, say, a CM Punk belonged in a UFC octagon, right? So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what comes next for Logan. And you know what? Like, as unlikable as he comes off in a lot of things, just kind of getting to know him a little bit better, digging into him as of late because of his interactions with the WWE and being a part of WrestleMania. I gotta say that I like Logan as a person, and I get where he's coming from, and I can tell that he has a true love and a passion for professional wrestling, and I would love to see him keep doing more, keep doing his thing, wearing the bumblebee jacket, annoying the fuck out of the fans. It's where he belongs. Hey, thanks for checking out that clip. Don't forget to check out other clips here on the channel, and while you're there, throw a like, throw a subscribe, and don't forget to check out full episodes each and every Sunday of the Pro Wrestling Podcast.